I don't know about church. There's so many of them. But I'd like to know more about the Bible. Can I know the Bible and not go to church? This is how a lot of people feel. Through history, most people learned the Bible at church. Now you can get a Bible on your computer with technology and any kind of device, and even on your phone. An actual Bible is 2 inches thick, has 66 books in it, and almost 2,000 pages. That's a lot to take in. So where do you start? Some say start at the beginning. The book of Genesis has 50 chapters, 3,000 years of history. It's the beginning part of the Bible that's called the Old Testament. The first few chapters of creation in Genesis is a great start. But by the 4th chapter, for someone new, it can become dull. Topics in Genesis are amazing. Cosmology, pneumatology, botany, geology, zoology, anthropology, soteriology, genealogy, and of course theology. How about if we start in the middle? If you just flip the Bible into the middle, you'll open to the book of Psalms. Psalms are hymns and spiritual songs. There are 150 of them, mostly written by King David. The 23rd Psalm is the most famous. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Or we could go to the end. Well, if you go to the end of a normal Bible, you'll see that there's dictionaries, maps, and a concordance. We'll talk about those in another lesson. The last book of the Bible is the book of Revelation. It is Jesus revealed in many visions relating to the end times. Revelation can be difficult for a mature Christian, but there is a blessing in just reading it. It actually says so. But it's not probably the best place to start. Most Christians would say, start with the New Testament, the Gospel of Matthew. Read all 4 Gospels. So, wait a minute. What's a Gospel and where is it? Like I said, there are 66 books in the Bible. We've seen Genesis, the first book. Psalms in the middle is the 19th book. And Revelation, the last. The 40th book, 2/3 from the start of the Bible, is the New Testament. The first 4 books of the New Testament are called Gospels. The Gospels are 4 accounts of the life of Jesus, written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The first gospel is Matthew. He was also called Levi. He was a tax collector and the twin brother of Thomas. There are 28 chapters. The second is Mark. He was a young man who was taught by Jesus' follower, Peter. There are only 16 chapters in this book. The third book is Luke. Luke was a doctor. He wrote from Jesus' mother's perspective. That's Mary. There are 24 chapters. The fourth and last gospel is John. John was the youngest follower of Jesus. He is known as the one whom Jesus loved. And there are 21 chapters. So, Matthew is about how Jesus fulfilled Old Testament prophecies. It records many of Jesus' teachings, including the Sermon on the Mount. Mark is a short, fast adventure. It is a quick view of the life and miracles of Jesus. Luke is full of details that aren't seen by many of the others. It is known for the Bethlehem birth, or the Christmas story. From John, we read many familiar verses, such as, "In the beginning was the Word," and then, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." And then, of course, there are the teachings at the Last Supper. So, my suggestion would be to start with Mark. He gives a good account of Jesus' life. The shortest of the Gospels, only 16 chapters. He gives a great start in knowing who Jesus is. It's fast-paced and a fun read. Psalms would be good too. It's great for a one psalm a day reading. Any place is a great start. Jesus bless you in your adventure into God's Word.